Managing a digital marketing project requires organization, clarity, and the ability to track multiple tasks simultaneously. Whether you are running a social media campaign, preparing a content calendar, or coordinating a product launch, you need a system that keeps everything visible and under control. Trello is one of the most widely used project management tools in the digital marketing world, and for good reason. It is visual, intuitive, and flexible enough to adapt to virtually any workflow. In this course, you will learn what Trello is, how it works, what its core elements are, and how to use it concretely in the context of a digital marketing project. Since you have already set up your Google Workspace environment and your password manager, Trello will integrate naturally into your work toolkit as the central hub for managing your tasks and marketing actions. What is Trello? Trello is a web-based project management application created in 2011 and acquired by Atlassian in 2017. It is based on a visual method called the Kanban method, originally developed in Japan in the manufacturing industry to manage production flows. The Kanban method organizes work into columns that represent stages in a workflow, and tasks move from one column to the next as they progress. Trello translates this principle into a digital, collaborative, and highly visual interface. You do not need any technical knowledge to use it. The free version is robust enough for most beginner and intermediate needs, which makes it an excellent starting point for a professional transitioning into digital marketing. Trello works in a browser and also has a mobile application. Since you already have a Gmail address dedicated to your project, you can log into Trello using your Google account, which makes setup quick and seamless. The core elements of Trello. To understand how to use Trello effectively, you need to master its 4 fundamental building blocks: the workspace, the board, the list, and the card. The workspace is the top-level organizational unit in Trello. Think of it as your company or your project container. Within a workspace, you can create multiple boards. If you are a freelance digital marketer managing several clients, you might create one workspace per client, or one workspace for your entire business and several boards inside it. The board is the main working surface in Trello. It is equivalent to a project. For example, if you are preparing a social media launch campaign for a new product, you would create a board titled Social Media Campaign, Product Launch. Each board has its own set of lists and cards, its own members, and its own settings. The list is a vertical column within a board. Lists represent the stages of your workflow. A classic and simple setup for a marketing project uses the following lists. To do, tasks that have not yet started. In progress, tasks currently being worked on. Review, tasks awaiting feedback or approval. Done, completed tasks. However, you can customize your list to match your specific process. For instance, for a content marketing workflow, your lists might be ideas, writing, editing, scheduled, published. The card is the most granular element in Trello. Each card represents a single task or action item. A card is placed inside a list and can be moved between lists as the task progresses. For example, if you need to write a blog article about email marketing, you would create a card titled Write Blog Article, Introduction to Email Marketing, and place it in the to-do list. When you start writing, you drag it to In Progress. When it is ready for review, you move it to Review, and so on. What is inside a card? Cards in Trello are much more than simple sticky notes. Each card can contain a rich set of information that makes it a self-contained task file. Here are the main elements you can add to a card. A title, the name of the task, which should be clear and action-oriented. Good example, create Instagram visuals for the May campaign. Weak example, Instagram. A description, a space to explain the task in detail, provide context, or include instructions. This is especially useful when working in a team or when you will return to the task after a delay. A due date, a deadline for the task. Trello will display overdue cards in red, which makes it easy to spot delays at a glance. Checklists, subtasks within a card. For example, a card titled Set Up the Newsletter Campaign might have a checklist including write the subject line, write the body text, design the email template, import the contact list, test the email, schedule the send. Attachments. You can attach files from your computer, from Google Drive, or from other sources. Since you are already familiar with Google Drive, you can link a Google Docs file directly to a Trello card, keeping your documents and your task management connected. Labels, colored tags that help you categorize and filter cards. In a marketing project, you might use labels such as urgent, content, paid advertising, social media, email, analytics. Members. You can assign one or more team members to a card, indicating who is responsible for that task. Comments. A space for team communication directly within the card, so all discussions about a task are centralized and traceable. How to use Trello for a digital marketing project. A concrete example. Let's take a concrete example to illustrate how Trello works in practice for a digital marketing context. Imagine you are preparing a 30-day content marketing plan for a client who sells organic skincare products. You create a Trello board called Content Plan, Organic Skincare, June. You set up the following lists: ideas, to write, writing in progress, editing, ready to publish, published. You then create a card for each piece of content planned for the month. For instance, Card 1. Instagram post. Benefits of shea butter, placed in ideas. Card 2. Blog article. 5 tips for a natural morning skincare routine, placed in to write, with a due date of June 5th. A checklist covering keyword research, outline, first draft, and final revision, and a label blog. Card 3. Facebook ad. Summer skincare promotion, placed in writing in progress, assigned to the copywriter team member, with an attachment linking to the creative brief stored in Google Drive. As the month progresses, each card moves through the list from left to right, giving you and your client a real-time view of where every piece of content stands. If a card turns red, you immediately see that a deadline has been missed and can take action. Trello and team collaboration. One of Trello's greatest strengths is its collaborative dimension. You can invite other people to your workspace or to specific boards. Each member can create cards, move them, leave comments, and be assigned tasks. This makes Trello an ideal tool for small marketing teams, agencies, or freelancers working with clients. When you invite someone to a board, they can see all the cards and lists on that board. You can control their permission level. They can either be a normal member, able to edit, or an observer, read-only access, which is practical when you want to keep a client informed without giving them editing rights. Notifications are automatic. When someone assigns you to a card, adds a comment mentioning you, or changes the due date of a card you are following, Trello notifies you. This keeps communication fluid without requiring constant email exchanges. Trello Power UPS and integrations. Trello offers what it calls power-ups, which are integrations with other tools and added functionalities. In the free version, you have access to a limited number of power-ups, but many of the most useful ones are included. Relevant power-ups for digital marketing projects include Google Drive. Allows you to attach and preview Google Docs, Sheets, and Slides files directly within Trello cards. This is a direct extension of the Google Workspace environment you have already set up. Calendar. Displays your cards with due dates on a calendar view, which is very useful for visualizing your content calendar or campaign timeline. Slack or email notifications. Keeps communication channels connected to your task management. As you advance in your digital marketing skills, you may also explore integrations with tools like MailChimp for email marketing or Hootsuite for social media scheduling, but these are not necessary at this stage. Best practices for using Trello in digital marketing. Here are some practical rules to get the most out of Trello from the very beginning. Always give your cards a clear and action-oriented title. A card should describe what needs to be done, not just what the topic is. Use due dates consistently. Every card representing a deliverable should have a deadline. Keep your boards focused. One board per project or campaign is easier to manage than one giant board for everything. Use labels to quickly filter tasks by type, priority, or channel. Archive cards when tasks are done and no longer relevant, to keep your board clean and readable. Review your boards regularly. A Trello board that is not updated becomes useless quickly. Build a habit of updating card statuses at the beginning or end of each working day. Link your Trello cards to Google Drive documents whenever possible, creating a connected and organized digital workspace. Why Trello matters for your digital marketing career. In the professional world of digital marketing, being able to organize your work and communicate clearly about project progress is as important as knowing how to run a campaign. Clients, managers, and colleagues expect transparency and accountability. Trello provides a simple, professional, and universally understood framework for delivering that. Moreover, understanding Trello prepares you for other project management tools you may encounter later, such as Asana, Monday.com, or Notion, which follow similar logic. The Kanban method is a transferable skill. Finally, as you move toward more advanced topics in this training, including marketing automation, performance analysis, and multi-channel campaign management, having a solid project management system in place will be essential to keeping all moving parts under control. Trello is the foundation on which you will build that discipline. By the end of this course, you should be able to create a Trello workspace, set up a marketing project board with appropriate lists, create detailed cards for each task, assign due dates and labels, and use Trello collaboratively with team members or clients. These are foundational skills that you will apply throughout this entire training program and in your future professional practice.